Hey people, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. Here we are, take two. It's not a diesel or a petrol. It doesn't really matter, does it? It is a diesel, but you know, it doesn't matter if it was a petrol or any other car. Take two, we put the new LSI rotors and the genuine pads, and we've got a bit of brake squeal. Why would that be, I wonder? Because if you're watching the videos, you might remember all these backing clips, backing plates of the pads. That comes in a set. There's your partner. If yours are missing for the rear pads, it's a genuine one. And we had one of these clips missing, so they come as a kit. I'm going to replace the whole lot and keep all the old ones for spares for other vehicles. Of course, I paid for it, so I'm going to get all the best stuff on my cars. Soon we're going to have another video with some other part numbers, like these for the seat floor mats. If you put the different floor mats in, you need to change those. I've got to figure that out yet. And the other thing you're going to need to stop the squeal is a bit of this copper ease. So we're going to get the pads out again, put these clips in place, and add the copper ease and see what happens. Oh, here we go. See, remember this? Genuine Toyota pads, but no backing plate. Of course it's going to squeal. All right, so easy fix. Just take this one out, take the pads out, put the backing plates in. These little clips, pretty straightforward. Check if you've got any missing on your car, if you've got brake squeal, and a little bit of copper ease grease, very thin. Operating range up to 1,000 degrees. So it's not going to melt and end up all over everything. It's just going to absorb some of the vibration between the pads, which allows the squealing to happen. So in this kit, this is what you get. There's your part number. These backing plates, you can see there's two pieces to it, and when they're new, they're all together. Basically, put one on the back of each of those, and you can use the wear indicators if you like. I'm undecided about that. I don't think we really need them. I don't really care. I look at brake pads. I don't look at wear indicators and wait for squealing noises. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that copper ease grease and just very lightly paint both sides of that. Now, taking into account on the outer pad, where the outer part of the caliper is going to make contact there, and on the inner one will be in the center. Have a look at the piston and the back of the caliper, you'll know what I mean. So I've got the new pads in, you can see what I mean. See the piston? That's on the inside, and on the outside, the back part of the caliper where it makes contact. So they're the main areas you want to get yourself a little bit of that copper ease. Before we do that, I can't remember which one's missing, not this one. Right, but it's missing now. Right, I just want to show you these clips. They should all be the same, more or less. And yeah, they'll just pretty much come out like that. I'm just going to replace them all since I had to buy the whole kit. And there's one missing, I think it's on the other side, left-hand rear. We'll just get those out. I'll put some nice new ones in. So if you're missing one of those and you come to our workshop, guess what? This is what will be going in there. Turns out even these can be put in the wrong way. Of course, there's probably 4 of each, I'd say, because there's 8 pieces altogether. You've obviously got it, these just clip in, they just push in, but see, you need to have the rounded, this is where you slide your pad in, and it's sort of just into that gap there, right? Same here, you could probably put it around the wrong way, that's all. So just have a look, make sure they're all in the right way. That's the configuration for anyone that wants to have a look at this one. I'll make sure they're in right. Is that one in right? I don't know. I'll have a look, make sure they're in correctly, obviously, and pads will go back in next. Okay, so as you can see, that was the one with the piston. Giving that a little bit of paint. It's very light. It's not paint, it's grease, and that'll just clip on like that. You put the bottom in and then press the top. That one's ready to go. So that was the inner pad. We'll put them back the same way because we're being a bit, you know, being a bit fussy, even though they get fussy with brakes. But brakes, sort of, you don't need to be that fussy, but you do. And we're going to put a little bit on the outside here as well, same pattern. All right, and these little wear indicator clips, they just clip in on the end there. You can actually, there's obviously the right way to put them, but you can pick which end of the pad in or out, depending which one wears out more. And it's usually the inner on these, so I'm going to put it on the inner at the top. I'll get it in there, I'll show you the position. Yeah, my name's not Rembrandt, but you know what? It's good enough. So the pad, you can see indicators in, pads sitting in. You just slot them in there. It's pretty straightforward. Don't do brakes because you saw this video. Watch all my videos. I've got a playlist there. And then you might be able to tackle it, or it might help you if you've got the right information. It's a matter of life and death. At this point, you've got to remember also to keep the rotor pushed in. You might want to put a nut on there just to hold it in, to keep it all Mickey Mouse. And the wear indicator position is up, it sits up in there, right at the top of the pad there. So yeah, get these calipers back on. Yeah, it's the same over this side, full fitting kit, clip-in, whatever those thingamajigs are, replacement. Just make sure you got them in right, no lubrication, no grease on those. And soon we're going to also adjust the handbrake through the hole on here without taking the rotor off. Because in the last video we had it all apart and clean and we adjusted it. It needs a few more clicks. So without taking this drum off, we're going to try and get through the hole. You're best off with a little torch that shines through the hole, and you can find the adjuster at the bottom. You can actually look at the thread, because one goes one way, one goes the other. Identify the thread, which way it turns, and just give it a few clicks, if you know what I mean. It's like a few flicks more than clicks, if you know what I mean. A few flicks, but let's get these pads back in here. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. I can't do this. Anyway, I'm putting these pads back in. So I got it in position, maybe I can do this. So I just put it in on an angle like that, and then if you just sort of push it down and in like that, see, it just goes in so easy when you've done it before. Anyway, I need two hands to, I could probably do it, but the camera would be all over the joint. That'd be bad camera work, wouldn't it? All right, so just get the other one in there as well. Okay, so I always choose the inside for the wear indicator. There's a proper way to, let me know Toyota procedure and how are they normally? Are they at the top? Because the wheel's turning that way and it's opening up the clip. Because sometimes, some setups, they had it at the bottom, pushing it in. So, there's no wrong way really, but this is probably the correct procedure. That's the way I like it. I should take more notice which side of the inner pad wears more, but which side it is. So then I could say, hey, put it on that side. But anyway, that's all back in. We just got to get the caliper back on, the slides back in, and bada bing, it's time to adjust the handbrake a few clicks. All right, that's all back on and tight. Don't forget to tighten those bolts. And like I said, don't do brakes just because you saw this video. If you want, you can wipe that excess grease off, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to get dust stuck to it though, but not a big deal at all. Anyway, you don't have to clean it up, but see what I mean? I've just wiped all that excess off there. Yep, both sides, see, nice and clean. Well, that's not going to matter. It's going to get all muddy and dirty. It's not going to matter. What matters is that all these pieces are the way they were meant to be from the original engineering setup. And that's what it is now. Yeah, we're getting to the adjustment here, and I just want to try and see if I can show you. See that a little adjusting wheel right in the middle. So looking at the rear, at the driver's side, get the drum right at the bottom in line, right? And I've already pre-lined it up. So what you need to do, if you don't remember which way it turns, because the other side might be the other way, and on some cars they can put these in the other way and it'll turn the opposite way maybe and stuff like that. So you just turn a little bit more this way and you'll be able to look at the thread. I don't know if the camera's going to show it. It's going to be some bloody good camera work if it does. And you can look at the thread there, and I'm going to need to get my eye in there to do it. Or is that the spring? I don't know. Somewhere there, the thread. Anyway, oh yeah, there it is. No, it is there. And if we can get the light and the camera on the right angle to get in the hole. Anyway, you can see the thread and you can identify which way you need to turn this piece at this side like a nut. And I'm just going to have a quick look and I'll tell you on the driver's side on this car. It looks to me you need to flick it upwards to make it, to expand it, to make it longer, to make the shoes inside these drums tighter. Like I said, check out our videos on the brakes playlist and you'll see more detail. But yeah, I could be wrong, but flick it upwards should make it tighter. So I'm going to get a few upwards flicks, then we'll go to the other side and then we'll get in the car and test the handbrake, see what it feels like. All right, now on this one, I don't know if we're going to be able to see again, but there it is. There's the adjuster right in the middle. So get it right in the middle, that bottom hole there, right? And beautiful. Now I've forgotten already, but you know what? I'm going to let you guys figure it out. So you can look at the, you can just move it a little bit extra, right? I always forget which way they go. I've got to tell you, I don't do it that often. I always forget, but it's not that hard to figure. And if you go too far, if you just keep flicking it and you look at the thread, you're going to either see it's shorter or longer, right? So you're just literally getting in the hole with the screwdriver like this, and you're going, and you're either flicking up or flicking down. And from memory, flicking down will be tightening and flick it up to loosen, and that's probably opposite to the other side or something like that. Let me know in the comments because I can't remember, I've forgotten already, and I'm not going to watch the video. I'm just here to help, and what I want to do is just not tell you everything. I want to get you thinking for yourself. I want to show you how these things work, which is what I've done, so that you can think for yourself and go, right, so when you get to another vehicle, I've got you with your thinking caps on so you can figure stuff out, right? So anyway, there it is. This one, I turned it a few clicks. I noticed the thread was a lot longer and I turned it only a couple clicks and it stopped, and then this drum wouldn't turn. So the good news is this one was right. So I backed it back a couple of clicks. It's long, I'm not touching. I'm gonna go back to the driver's side. It's probably the one that needs a few more clicks. I'm gonna give it a few more clicks all the way till it stops and back it off a couple of clicks, then go up in the car and see what it feels like. All right, this one was definitely flick it upwards to make it tight, because it's also, look, if I go, can't turn it now. So what I just say, flick it up. So I'm going to flick it back the other way a few clicks, make sure it's got reasonable clearance, and the handbrake's probably going to be nice and tight. There's also a cable adjustment inside, but you shouldn't need to go there once it's been set right. Let's see what happens with this one. And you wouldn't believe it, it's just absolutely beautiful. So I'm basically on both sides, I've gone all the way till it's tight, backed it off. The other side's about 3 flicks. This was about 4 flicks. I've gone to the car, yanked the handbrake, and really tight at 6 clicks, which is good. I don't like to have it too tight. I want to have a bit of clearance. Anyway, bada bing, bada boom, that's a video. That's how to fix a lot of squealing, replace all the clips, not just the pads, all the other detail, and how to adjust it without pulling the drum off. But you might want to watch the videos and see what's in there so you can see what I'm talking about. Brakes playlist, people. Hit the like button if you learned something, and catch you on the next video. Subscribe, turn the bell on. Bada bing. See ya.